ladies and gentlemen, Richard Cora Kenobi here, and I'm back again for another movie review, and this time we have Digimon Trey, Chapter 1, Reunion. Now, apologies for this, sorry, I know, I just got back from the theater an hour ago, so that is why I'm not doing this in daylight, so you don't have to see two glares. So apologies. I will try my best to at least let you guys see half of me. But this is to celebrate. Now again, I mean, this series is celebrating the 15-year anniversary of Digimon, and I can't believe it's been over 15 years. To me, it feels like 17 years because, wow, 15 years of Digimon. Who would have thought? So yes, now this is the dub version of it. So if you have seen this show but you want to hear the dub, Fathom Events had this one-night thing where you could see the dub in theaters, and it was only in select theaters. So I had to go to a theater that I had been to before, but it's not one I particularly like going because it's on the other side of town, but that's a story for another day. And I gotta say, the auditorium I was in, it was not as packed as, say, The Killing Joke, where there were 100 people. This time it was more like 50 people, but it was still a lot. So, and I managed to talk to some of the crowd, and they all agreed that Digimon is better than Pokemon. So, ha! I'm just kidding, please don't kill me. So, yes. So, we all loved it. Now, what were my thoughts on it? The dub was amazing. I actually like the dub better than the sub version. Now, you're probably asking, did they get the original cast of the original show back? Yes, they did, but not all of them. They didn't get all of them. They did get Joshua Seth to come back and voice Tai. So this is the first time he's actually came back to voice Tai. And, they did get the voice of Agumon, Greymon, they got the voice of Tentomon, they got the voice of Izzy, Mimi. I couldn't tell if they got the voice for Sora and Corey, but it was really hard to tell. So they got most of the original actors and actresses to come back. Oh, and they got the voice of some of the rest of the Digimon. I think they just had to replace some, but they did manage to get most of them to come back. So they got, like, I think 5 or 6 of the original Digimon voice actors to come back, and then a couple of the Digidestined. So either way, it was good, but oh my god, that music I played, that is actually the dub version of the song, because if you've heard the song from the Japanese version, which I like, this is obviously an homage to the original Digimon song, so it's not the original one that we all grew up with, and we all have stuck in our heads. So, yes, but, overall, what did I think? This was amazing. It was really an experience. It was a great experience because I've never seen Digimon in theaters, obviously. I never saw the original 1999 version when it came out. This is when DigiFever was at an all-time high. But, I was excited. Like, I actually cried in theaters next to 50 other people. I cried whenever I saw all of the Digimon Digivolve. And of course, I smiled when I saw Omnimon. So I smiled, cried, laughed. Everyone got up. We just clapped with thunderous applause, and they did show us half of Chapter 3. So that was very exciting. But guys, overall, this was amazing. I can't describe it. So I won't spoil what this is about or what happens, but I will say, if you haven't seen Digimon Trey, I highly recommend you go watch the subbed version. You can watch all 2 chapters on Hulu, or you can just find a way to pirate it or do whatever you guys do. But this does officially take place 7 years after the original show. And, they do acknowledge the second generation of Digidestined, but well, okay, this is a spoiler, so if you haven't seen either the subbed or the dubbed, this is a spoiler, okay? Okay, so you guys remember the second generation of Digidestined, right? They were in the movie, you know, even Corey and TK were a member of it, but I assume that didn't work out. So yeah, those original one, those second Digidestined, well, they die. That is not a joke. They die. You don't see them brutally, gruesomely murdered, but they are killed in the digital world, fighting, of course, Alphamon. So yeah, they're dead. And it was kind of shocking to see the dub take on it because again, you just see quick flashes of each one of them dying, and it's really sad. I mean, it really is. I mean, I never liked them that much, but they weren't bad, but jeez Louise, man, I mean, yeah, it was kind of sad and heartbreaking. So if you are a fan of the second Digidestin generation, you're not gonna like what happens to them. They don't, like I said, you don't see them get gruesomely murdered, but it's pretty fucked up. So, yes, but overall, like I said, and they did keep they kept most of the Japanese music. They only altered the opening title, which is weird, but I get it. They wanted to homage the original show, and apparently, I can give you guys the synopsis. So basically, as I said, this takes place 7 years after the original show, where they're all in college. All the Digidestin don't see each other that much anymore. They still keep up with each other, but they don't get together as much as they used to. And, you know, they're struggling to grow up. And, of course, an interesting phenomenon happens that you see Kawagamon, and he's after Tai, and then all of a sudden, right when it looks like Tai can't get out of there, Agumon shows up, and he saves him. Because at this point, the Digidestin devices stopped working, and apparently the digital world has been closed off for a year in their time. So basically, they haven't been able to, you know, get in touch with their Digimon. So, but I will say this: after that, the plot goes. It's interesting how because a lot of people complained that this kind of drags on, but I felt it needed to because we needed to see the development of each character, mainly Tai, because again, and I'm so glad they got Joshua Seth to come back and voice Tai again, because I wanted to hear his take on this, and you really can feel, because again, if you don't know, Tai goes through a little bit of an identity crisis in this, and he's trying to. He kind of feels like, okay, when we were kids, we caused a lot of damage, but we were in the digital world, and we were kids, we didn't know any better. But now every time there's a fight with his Digimon, with him and Agumon, he gets worried because he's afraid we're causing so much collateral damage, and, you know what I mean, and this kind of causes a little rivalry between Matt and Tai. You know, Matt is just saying, what the hell is wrong with you? You know, like, Tai's head is not in the game. He doesn't want to be a Digidestin, sort of. I mean, he still wants to help people, but again, I mean, I really like how they took a mature approach to this. I even explained this in the Nerdbender anime topic we talked about last Saturday, and I still like it, but now I think I like the dub take on it better because, again, you can really feel the conflict that's going on inside Tai, and you really feel like, okay, you can identify with what he's saying. They basically did a better version of Man of Steel in anime, is what I'm saying. So, yeah, there you go. But again, I mean, it was so good to hear all of the voice actors back. It really made me feel like a kid again, even though they couldn't get all of them. It's understandable, but I was happy with they were able to mainly just get back Tai, Agumon, Tentomon. They were able to get back Mimi, Izzy, and so much other more. But so they did manage to get some of them back. But again, I couldn't tell if they got the voice of Sora and Corey back, because again, it was hard for me to tell if it's them. Corey, it kind of sounded like her original voice actress, and so did Sora. So if you guys can let me know down below, did they get the original voice actresses of Sora and Corey? If they did, thank you guys so much. So, yes, really good stuff, and I gotta tell you guys, the action in this movie, because that's what we all loved about Digimon. When they digivolved and the action hit, it was better, but the action in this is actually a lot better than in the original show, because, don't get me wrong, I love the action scenes and the fight scenes in the original show, but here, now that they have newer, slicker HD animation, you know, again, the action looks amazing. I mean, this this is on One Punch Man level. It's not exactly like One Punch Man's animation, but in terms of action and fighting, but it's close. You can really tell the amount of detail they put into this. So, yes, really, really good. And as I said, I mean, and I do like how they, because for those of you who haven't seen it, they did change the Digivolve sequence. So whenever they Digivolve, you don't see them spin around, and then they take forever, and they even give us a preview of the form like they did in the Ultra. No, it's really interesting how they do that. They engulf the Digimon in this egg, and then they hatch out of that egg, they spin around, and they're in their, well, they're in their champion level form. So I like how they did that. I really did it. The music and the sound effect that plays, amazing. Just amazing. I'm so glad they kept the music when they Digivolve, and you hear it. You hear it twice, and it's amazing. Like, truly amazing. And I gotta say, I love the last battle in particular, when you see Omnimon, and it felt like, oh my god, I am a kid again. I'm watching Omnimon come together on the big screen in front of 50 other people. Amazing experience. Just amazing. And also, too, I just can't praise this enough. I mean, it really was good, and it just felt like... And again, some of the voice actors sound like they haven't aged a bit. Well, they're not that old. They're like, what, in their... I think... It's hard to tell. I think they're in their 30s now, if I'm not mistaken. But they still sound like they're still kids. So they really haven't lost their touch. And again, I really like how they... Again, I can't praise them enough for getting the original voice actors to come back. They really do sound like they just haven't lost it. They haven't aged. They still have those kid voices. But again, I can still tell that, yeah, the actors are now older, but it is good that they sound just like they used to. And that's what I love about this. This is amazing. Really amazing. And I don't know what else I can say. This is really good. And I was happy that Fathom Events brought this. Because again, they could have just had this premiere online or be exclusive to Hulu. But no, they decided, Toei Animation decided to team up with Fathom Events and say, okay, let's bring this to the big screen. And I like how they did that, because again, trust me, if you ever wanted to, if you were one of the few participants who got to see this on the big screen, you'll know the experience I know, because again, this was a better experience than I ever could have imagined. And yes, I am one of those people who like Digimon more than Pokemon. I apologize, please don't kill me. It's just, I don't know. And they did show part of Chapter 3. They didn't show a mini trailer. They showed literally half the episode. So yeah, I think they showed like, what, 10, 12 minutes of it? And they had this little thing where you saw actual people send clips of themselves talking about Digimon. They had the plushies, they had the toys, the Ty's goggles, they had the Digidestin device, and one of them was cosplayed as Corey. And guess what? You guys are never gonna believe it. The actual cosplayer who sent that video out to the world on the big screen, she was there with us all in the auditorium. Yes, an actual cosplayer who sent her video on the big screen was there with us. I am not kidding. That was amazing. I didn't get any pictures, but yeah, it was, wow, just amazing. And yes, guys, if you can't tell by the sound of my voice, I had amazing. I felt like a little kid again, and I literally cried tears of nostalgia. This was special to me. Now, here's the big question. Would I recommend you watch the sub or the dub? Well, unfortunately, I don't know when the dub of this is coming out, because the sub version has been released on Blu-ray in Japan, and I think it's gonna end parts of the UK. So you're only made, if you're watching this, you actually got the Blu-ray, you lucky bastard. No, I'm kidding. I kid, of course. So yes, I don't know when the dub is coming to online or even on Blu-ray. I'll keep you guys updated, but if you do know, let me know down below in the comments. But I would just recommend you watch this, either subbed or dubbed, it doesn't matter. But yes, I would highly, highly recommend you watch Digimon Trade. This is the best sequel to the original show. Now, granted, I never watched the other Digimon shows after the original. I never did, because I never could get into them, because I grew up with Tai and the others. I didn't like the other shows. I'm sorry, I know you guys do, but Digimon Trey is an amazing callback, and this dub literally just, it set it. It set the bar, and if Dragon Ball Super was to do this, I'm pretty sure I would flock to a theater in a heartbeat. I'm just saying, I am just saying. So I would give Digimon Trade Chapter 1 Reunion dubbed a solid 5 out of 5 chorus. This is highly recommended. I would also put my Force seal of approval. This is how good it was. Now again, it does drag on a bit, so if you don't like certain things that drag on, you may not like this, but if you don't care, you just want to see it, then go try and hunt it down as best as you can. Again, I don't know when they plan to release the dub version of this. I hope they release it online and on Blu-ray and DVD, but either way, I'm looking forward to watching it again, this time on the smaller screen or on my iPad. So yes, guys, thank you all so much for watching this, and I had a great time. This has been crazy. This has been a crazy year. I mean, I don't know which one I liked better, the seeing the Killing Joke in theaters, or seeing, I think I liked this more, as you can tell, because it held a special place in my heart, because this is what I grew up on. This is what I loved as a kid. I mean, I literally was addicted to Digimon, and I lost my love for Pokemon because of that. Now, that's not a bad thing. It's just, again, I am trying to get back into Pokemon, but if hopefully Pokemon Generations can make me a full dedicated fan again. We'll see. We shall see. But again, don't be mad. I love both shows. But again, if you just had to ask me which one do I like better in terms of the Pokemon Digimon Wars, I'm on the side of Digimon. Digidestined forever. If you guys are Digidestined, write it down below, and high five. So, yes, guys, overall, if you enjoyed this review, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know down below what you think of Digimon Trey. Will you be trying to track down the dub version? And also, too, what is your favorite Digimon? Digidestined or Digimon, you know. So just tell me down below what your favorite Digimon character is, either Digidestined or Digimon itself. And until then, this is Richard Kenobi saying, as always, may the Force be with you. Later, my Digidestined.